I have one matchup, and that's it. One matchup. That's the only thing I'm targeting, and it's going to be one game in Major League Baseball, and that's going to be the Braves at the Rays. And the reason is I've looked around the slate. I don't love it. There is some betting moments you can get there, but because this is a show, there's no way I can actually deep dive into those actual matchups that I really want to just yet. We don't know who's playing, and that's what I will say is be careful, especially like you are in the NBA when you're going into the All-Star break. Same thing with baseball here. We want to make sure we're timid on all of this. We don't want to risk too much. So what I would say is dial back some of your unit that you might be spending and go ahead and take I guess, a very easy approach into games that are going right into a break, because there's managers and there's front offices that are giving guys extra break because they know that, hey, maybe they can steal a game or two of time. That's an extra day or two away that they can give their guys a break going into the second half. The second half of the season is the most important. And so maybe it's guys taking breaks. Maybe it's guys not caring as much. Maybe it's guys that are dialed out and they really aren't thinking about that. They're thinking about Hawaii. They're thinking about being on a beach with some kind of a nice tropical drink in their hand, or maybe it's just sleeping, whatever it might be. So make sure you're using a cautious approach as we go ahead and going into Major League Baseball. There's other sports that are happening, but my thing is baseball, so we want to be careful. But we have one dynamite matchup, and I'm also going to be a little bit less risky here. I'm not going to go crazy with it. But the matchup I'm looking at is the Braves and the Rays. And that's for the simple fact is both of these teams are dynamite. They're great on paper. They're great when they get on the field. Everything about these two teams have been really good. The Rays were the hottest team in baseball when they started off the year. In June, the Braves, they set every possible hitting record that they could. And it's just one of those matchups that you get that you see and you circle on the calendar. And with these two teams coming to collide, I expect it to be a lot of fun, but I'm curious because it could be a possible playoff matchup in the World Series. These two teams have the ability to do that. And because of that, I want to look at this and kind of look at these numbers. So I want to share with you why this is so important. Is I'm looking at the pitching matchups, right? You have Charlie Morton against Tyler Glasnow. Charlie is 8-6 with a 1.16 K per inning. All right, 1.16, so at least a strikeout, a little over a strikeout an inning. Tyler Glasnow, he's 2-2. He just came back from injury. He has a 1.55 strikeout per inning. Like, those numbers are crazy. All right, so then we go to the day two matchup, and that's going to be on Saturday, and it's going to be Spencer Strider, 10-2 on the year, against Taj Bradley, who is 5-4. The record isn't great, just like Charlie Morton's. The record's not amazing. He's 5-4, but he has a 1.35 K per inning. Like, those are incredible numbers. Bryce Elder, he's 7-1. His K rate is 0.78, right? So he's not a big strikeout guy. Zach Eflin, 9-4 for them on Sunday, is 1.02 K per inning. Okay, those are all strikeouts. Those are pitcher props. So if you want to target, strikeouts, go ahead. But be cautious, because both of these teams do not just there aren't tops in the majors on striking out. So they are very good hitters. All right. So let's go ahead and read you a little bit of the pitching numbers that I have. Both teams top 5 in ERA. Dynamite matchup, right? Top 10 in Ks overall. So a total number of Ks. Both teams, good pitching staffs. Both teams strike out a lot of players. Let's give you some of that hitting matchup. Both teams, top 4 in average, top 7 in stolen bases, top 3 in runs scored, top 4 in on-base percentage and slugging, top 3 in home runs, and top 3 in RBIs. Most of those other teams that are there is the Texas Rangers, because they've been hot as well. But this matchup is so juicy that I am just completely just in awe. I'm a Braves fan. I will just show completely my bias. But when betting, I try not to have much bias. But what I will say is, as a fan, I will be watching this. It will be a lot of fun. It will be a great matchup. One thing that I always look forward to is two teams that collide. But one thing I want to do, as well as from the Braves side, they haven't been amazing in day games. So maybe that's some way we can target it. Maybe it is strikeouts. Maybe it's something that we take a cautious approach of, hey, let's watch and see how the game starts to kind of unfold the first game. And that second game, maybe we attack it a little bit differently. Or maybe we attack Charlie Morton because he does give up a lot of hits. But we also look at maybe Tosh Bradley in the second game. Maybe they go after him because, yes, he is a strikeout guy, but he doesn't, he isn't just a kind of a put out pitcher. So we're going to make sure we take two different weird dynamic approaches. But I want to make sure that we're targeting this game because the Braves of the Rays is going to be awesome.